I had this like whole like long intro about Scott Snyder that I was going to use, about a minute long. This comic book's so damn fun. Let's just get to it. We're just gonna get to it. Support the comic book industry by visiting your LCS. My name is Doran. This is SEM Comics. We continue our coverage of Absolute Batman. Number 10. Our story starts off in June, where you got Bruce's mom who's talking to Gordon. Gordon's like, look, it's only been a few days. Bruce's mom's like, I know my son. Something's wrong. We need to find him. And then we see a female doctor talking to a recorder about test subject number 27. She says the test subject is 6'9", 421 pounds. Now, if you remember way back in like the second issue, they said that this dude used to play football and that he was pretty good and probably would have made it to the pros. With those stats and his athleticism, he would have played pro football, pro baseball, pro basketball, pro hockey, pro whatever the hell he felt like playing. Let me try to put this in perspective, because Ernie and Carter on the Blur Cave try to compare him to Brock Lesnar. They ain't even doing him justice. Brock Lesnar is 6'3", 290 pounds. That means our Batman is 6 inches taller and 130 pounds heavier than that monster. He would literally be the biggest person in the NFL right now. The biggest. Nobody bigger. Like, we all know how big Braun Strowman is. Technically, he would be an inch taller than Braun Strowman, and he would have him by like 45 pounds or like 35 pounds, whatever it is. And just to put that in perspective, did you see how small he was compared to Bane? This is ridiculous. Anyway, back to the story. They said it took 6 staff members to carry this motherfucker in. Removal of his costume triggered a series of homemade booby traps. Numerous injuries occurred. Once fully strapped, scans show further contraband hidden throughout his body. After multiple surgeries, staff is now confident all obstructions have been extracted. I just had to pull a Jay-Z when I was reading this. I was like, what? Who? Items confiscated included tear gas pellets, acid pellets, explosive pellets, sedative pellets, hallucinogenic pellets, a full lockpick kit, blow darts, finger blades, knuckle blades, toe blades, push daggers, trench daggers, various throwing shurikens, and one large spike war club. Collapsible. Subject remains under heavy sedation. All data suggests he should remain incapacitated for at least 48 hours. In doctor's log. And then this big motherfucker wakes up. So he starts moving, butt naked, gets up, reaches in between his teeth, and pulls out a lock pick that was in between his gums. Like, this dude is not soft whatsoever. So for Bane to do what he did to him, I could be Superman right now. And the last person I want to run up on is this Bane. Anyway, he picks the lock, he opens up the door, and he starts hoofing it. Butt ass naked. Now you could tell he's heavy, because every time he runs, all you hear is doom, 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 doom. So he gets level 246. I'm like, dude, how deep does this thing go? Like, you can't get too deep, because once you start getting to like the center of the earth, like, you rather be in space than be down there. And if you don't believe me, just watch Star Talk. Go to the center of the earth. Neil deGrasse Tyson will learn you. Now, as he's going through and he's seeing all these crazy things, the doctor's talking. Like, she wanted him to escape. Like, this is something that she actually wanted him to do. And she says that he's getting close to the clay biome. Now, even though she spelled it with a K, we all know what that means, right? He's walking. There's like hands and arms everywhere. And somebody says, it hurts. Hurts so bad. And they start grabbing him. All of a sudden, all he hears is, hello again. Batman's like, you. One punch. Might as well call Bane Saitama, because he is done. Knocked out. So the doctor calls Bane Prime. Might as well call him Optimus Prime, because that's how big he is. And she says subject 47 needs to go back to his cell, but before he can do so, he needs to go to infirmary. One punch. And Bane is just like, keep trying. Please. So then we cut to a flashback where Bruce is training Waylon. They're also watching Bibbo's fight, because I guess it's on TV. I mean, he would be because he's a champ. And Bruce is like, he's not so big. Ozzy's like, looks pretty big to me. Now, we already had a whole long discussion on how big Bruce is. And Waylon is either as big or bigger. And Bibbo's pretty big too. I'm like, they just got Neanderthals in this universe, because if you go to Superman, Ra's al Ghul is a monster. So we see him training. We also see Bibbo fighting, beating up the dude. And Bruce goes, see, his left's not that fast. Ozzy goes, that actually looks pretty fast to me. So again, we see Bruce and Waylon training. And then the announcer is like, most brutal win I've seen in 20 years. So then Waylon's like, he doesn't look that tough. Ozzy goes, I mean, he looks pretty. And then finally Harvey's like, shut the up. So then we cut to July, where we have Martha at the DA's office, and she's talking to Harvey. He's saying we're doing everything we can to try to find him. And she's like, well, where the hell is he? Why can't we find him? So then we cut to him. He's growing a beard. It's been that long. And the doctor is doing her doctor's notes, and she's saying how he won't eat. So they put a feeding tube in him. And they must have been doing this for a while, because there are a lot of bags attached to him. But the staff feels like that looks like he's broke now. If he's not willing to eat, then he might be broke enough to where we can do what we need to do to him. So they decide to come in. That was a mistake. Now, before we get to what happens on the next page, I just gotta say one thing. Scott Snyder, you have no reason to watch this video. But if you happen to watch this video, and if you happen to get this far into the video, I just gotta ask one question, man. Is everything okay? Because this next scene, it's almost a cry for help. This old 6'9", 421-pound behemoth kicks the bejesus out this orderly in his face, and he will never be the same again. He grabs the next orderly and starts pummeling him like he owes him money. Come to find out, I don't know where he even got the wraps from, but he got his hands wrapped. And in between the wraps and his knuckles is his own teeth they put out his mouth to use as teeth knuckles. That's the only thing I could come up with at the time. You come up with a better term. That's not even the worst part. This other orderly is pleading for his life. He's like, hear me out. This dude ain't trying to hear nothing. Somehow, some way, he has rearranged the feeding tube that's in his stomach to where he can access his stomach acid, and he squirts it out on the dude's face. He's screaming because now he's got stomach acid just burning his face, and he just sticks his head into a toilet, into his toilet. But what really impressed this sick ass doctor is that he collected a large amount of guano and then urinated on it for weeks. And somehow, some way, this substance that he made is just like gunpowder. And I guess he used that to break his way out again. And there he goes, down the hallway. Thump, 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 thump. He climbs up this ladder and he gets to a section where all these tall trees are at. Again, I ask, how big is this place? As he's walking through the trees, they got eyes and mouths. And I'm like, no, turn around. Too late. The trees grab him. I was thinking to myself, like, I guess this might be an allegory for Poison Ivy. Maybe Swamp Thing, because it says, the green wants out. What? Anyway, the trees are attacking him. He's pretty much about to die. All of a sudden, Bane comes out of nowhere and goes, hey there. And then tears like the head off of this tree thing. And then looks at Bruce and then punches him directly in his face. So yeah, he's going to have to take another trip back to infirmary. Because we know all it takes is one punch with Bane. And I don't even know how important this next part is, but we do a flashback to Bruce and Selena. And Selena's like, hey, it's time to go. We need to do this job. Bruce is like, I got to watch tape for Waylon, for this fight. And Selena's like, you need to tell him the truth. And Bruce's like, tell him what truth? And she's like, that he can't win. And Bibbo's going to kill him. And Bruce is like, I can't do that. Like, I just can't do that. And Selena's like, you need to. Because if anybody's going to be honest with him, it needs to be you. Now, let's go get this money. So now we cut to August. It's been 3 months since Bruce has disappeared. His mom's still not giving up hope, and she's still looking for him. She's putting up like missing persons posters everywhere. But then we cut to Bruce, and we see he has scars all over his body. He is bald-headed, so they've been having their way with him surgically. And who knows what they put inside him. Like, the one scar on his back actually looks like a bat. Let me know in the comments what you think they actually did to him. Like, what kind of augmentations did they do? Because they did something. So now they feel like he's thoroughly broken down, but they want to test to see if he is. So they put his bat suit right in front of him. And they see if he's going to take the bait. He goes, "Leave me alone." I said, "Leave me alone." He's looking at the bat suit and he goes, "Stop it. It's over. Don't you get it? There's no winning." But he's looking at the bat suit. And he looks away, and then he looks at it again, and next thing you know, our boy's back with his battle axe. If he was going against anybody else, I'd be like, they in trouble. But Bane, he might just say it tickles. So he goes run down the hallway again, thump, 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 thump. And then he gets to level 246 again, which is Langstrom Experiments. If anybody knows who Dr. Langstrom is, he's man-bat. And then he comes to all these different creatures, and they're all saying the same thing. Help us. Even though they are hideous, and even though they have extraordinary powers, they don't want to be like this. They just want the pain to stop. So Bruce doesn't know how to help. He says, "I don't know how." And after he said that, all of a sudden, the biggest boot he's ever seen in his life comes directly at him. Hits him not only in his face, but also in his chest, because Bane has juice now. He's on that venom, and he's just huge. Just huge. The messed up part is he's being so nice as he is beating Bruce's ass. Now he punched him through this glass and into this cell. And he's talking to Bruce, and he goes, "Forgive my crude translation, but there's a saying I found useful. It's not the strongest or the most intelligent of us that survived a war called life, but instead it's the most adaptive to," and before he could say the word, all of a sudden he gets his lick back. Not Bruce, but Killer Croc, because this is 30 years in the making. Back during Nightfall, when Bane broke Batman's back, Bane got to it with Killer Croc in the sewers, and Robin was involved. This is Tim Drake Robin, and it was a good fight, but Bane pretty much beat the bejesus out of Killer Croc. Well, that ain't happening in this one. Bane is all juiced up. Killer Croc that jumps all over him, hits him with the tail so hard he goes flying into the glass that all the doctors and scientists are behind. And yeah, it's as bad as you think it is. It's horrible because he's so big, he just crushes like a whole bunch of them. They're done. It's like they got hit by a bus. Like the one doctor is like, he fell right on top of him. I think you ain't gotta think. They are dead. Dead. Like, there's no bringing them back. Dead. And speaking of dead, he's about to be dead too. Because Killer Croc comes out of nowhere, and his mouth is so big that he clamps down one time and kills 2 people. One bite, 2 people. Like Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. He is one step away from being a kaiju. So the Batman goes, "Waylon?" And Killer Croc turns to him and he goes, "Wait, it's me, Bruce." He looks at him in his face. He grabs him by his neck, and you can see all the teeth that Bruce has pulled out. Like he needs to get a hold of some money because his smile is done. But I guess they're still boys, because next thing you know, Bruce has mounted Waylon and they are out of here. Now this is what gets me. Bane gets up and he's got scientists so stuck like to his back. Dead scientists stuck to his back, and the man finishes his thought. He goes, "As I was saying, it's not the strongest or the most intelligent of us who survives this war called life, but the most adaptive to change." Like, the man got the knocked out of him, and he still finished his statement. Like, what? So as Bruce and Waylon are escaping this hellhole and getting to the sewers, we see that this doctor is not just any doctor, but this is Dr. Arkham. And her and Bane is like, you know what? He might be the one. We need to find out for sure. Like, they actually wanted this to happen. Like, they wanted this to happen. And Bane's all excited. He's like, oh, doctor, I'm ready to go. Because this time, I can truly break him. I advise you to go read this comic, because this was some of the most fun I had reading a comic in a very long time.
You